Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Ryan and Rodrigo. And today we thought we would bring you something a little bit different, something a little more practical and useful for everyday life. And to explain our idea, Rodrigo, could you take a little minute and tell everybody what we thought for this week?
Yeah, sure. When we came up with that idea because a lot of our students, for all of our careers as teachers, a lot of our students uh, needed and need and will need job interviews, job interview pointers and guidelines, and help with job with being interviewed they and not only the English aspect, but the interview aspect. They need tips and strategies on how to answer the right questions in the best way possible, in the best possible way, uh, because uh, English has become more and more important and mandatory in like in practically every process you're going through. So that was our idea to have something very practical to interview, to use our students and show to everyone, all our audience, how an interview goes. And the interview is the video is a two-part video, okay? And I think Ryan can talk to you guys can explain about the first part, right?
Sure. So in the first part of the video, one of my students is actually a business owner, and he does interviews. He makes interviews. He asks the questions a lot of the times. He is in charge of hiring, and so I asked him some questions about the things that he looks for, the things that he wants people to do during interviews, the things that you should prepare for when you do an interview. And I also asked him the things that turn him off from people, some of the common things that people might do during an interview that really tell him, no, I'm not going to hire this person, and tips for some things to avoid when you do an interview. And for the second part, Rodrigo, can you tell us about the second part?
Yes. Well, for the second part, I thought of having Bruna, my one of my best students, for some reasons. First, she's self-taught. When she started having classes with me, her English was already upper intermediate. She has very good English. She has learned by herself. So she's good inspiration for everybody. Also, because she works in technology, in the technology area, she she's been through a lot of interviews in English. She's been tested also because part of the process is an interview and also a test. And because now she's a manager, she also interviews people. So just like, well, your student is a business owner, so he's in charge of hiring. She's in charge of telling her boss and the director and everybody who to hire. So she also understands enough about this. And well, that was the two main reasons I thought of Bruna.
And you asked Bruna a lot of typical interview questions, right? To sort of
Yes,
show people what to expect during an interview.
exactly. I try to choose all the main questions, all the most frequently asked questions, uh, and we practiced just like a class, just like I would do in a class. I don't remember if I had done that in class with her before. Probably, but we've been in class for a long time, so I don't really remember. But it's just like a class for everybody to watch. Okay,
Mhm.
so it was really nice.
Yeah. Um, so stay here, stay and watch these two parts, these great two parts. First with my student Fabio, who will explain some of the things that you need to be prepared for in an interview, and with Rodrigo's student Bruna after that, answering some typical interview questions. And have a great time. See you guys.
See you. Thank you.
Hey everybody, we're doing an episode today about job interviews, and we're here with one of my students, one of my friends, Fabio, and he is the owner, the manager, and the founder of Aster Security. And first, Fabio, can you tell me a little bit about the company? Can you tell me what the company does? Just to start.
Yes. Hi everybody. Aster is a company that I founded. I am the founder, and we start our operations maybe 15 years ago. We started just supplying these operational workers like security, doormen, cleaners, and receptionists, and all these operational workers, especially in buildings and companies. And after that, we start to develop more technological area with security equipments, access control, and video cameras, and all this stuff. And now we develop a very good structures to provide remote doorman and security control remote.
Cool.
We are developing this area more
That's
widely.
nice. And nowadays, do you still do interviews for people for new job hires at the company?
Yes, but nowadays most of my interviews are related to more strategic positions, especially related to managers and other sales and more strategic positions that I need to know more about.
Mm-hmm. And before you do an interview, when you're looking through CVs, when you're looking for qualities in people, what are some things that stand out in a CV to you that makes you say, this is the person that I want to interview? Is it their education? Is it their experience? Is it something else that really makes you say, yeah, this person? What is it?
I really like people that doesn't have many rotations in companies, that stay more time in one company. I think it's very important to have a good team, to stay with the same team for a long time, and to prepare, to train, and to make people part of your culture. So I think this is very important. I don't like people that all the time is changing positions and changing companies.
Mm-hmm. And when you do an interview, what is some of the information outside of the CV that you look for? What are some of the types of questions that you ask? What is it that you want to know when you do an interview?
Oh, I try to understand the personality of the interviewer. It's important. Depends on the job. If to try to fit, if to see if they fit to the position that you want to hire. So, for example, if you are interviewing someone to a sales position, it's very important to understand if the people is more introvert or extrovert. I always try to make questions and see if the person fit with the position that I want to hire.
Okay, so it's more about discovering their personality, discovering who they are, and not so much their skills, because you should understand that from the CV, right?
Yes. When I make interviews, they have already passed to other uh, other parts of interview with other people. So I go to uh, specific questions related to personality and if they fit to the culture of the company and also to the position.
Mm-hmm. And I know that some like very generic typical interview questions are like, describe yourself, or where do you see yourself in 5 years, or maybe give me 3 strengths and 1 weakness in yourself. Are these the kind of interview questions that you would use, or is it really like a myth that these interview questions are very typical?
No, I really like to ask these questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Because sometimes you can figure out if the people is really interested on that in that job, or just is just some ways to earn money. Because and I, as I said before, I really care about people stay a long time in my company and to create a good culture. So I try to understand the dreams, what people want for their lives, and see if it fits with what I want in that specific position.
And are there any other questions, or do you have a favorite interview question that you use to understand people?
Yes, I think these questions about strengths and weakness is also a good one, because you can evaluate people and see if they have they know themselves well, and also if they can develop their weakness. Because sometimes when you ask these questions, people get completely lost and say stupid things about very generic things, and you can check if the people is saying true or just pretend to be cool or something like that.
So does it annoy you? Does it bother you when people say things like, "Ah, my weakness is I work too hard"? Is that really
Yeah, I hate this kind of answer.
you would really
It's
prefer
very
them to
common.
give you a real weakness, a true one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like when someone give you the truth. And everybody has weakness. So if you explore these deeply and in a truthful way, it's very good for you and for the company.
Mm-hmm. And when somebody is preparing for an interview, um, do you think that they should prepare with some specific information about the company? Like, should they have information about Aster, its history, the things that it does, its clients when they come to the interview, or is that not so important?
No, it's not so important. Of course, it's important to know some things about the company that you can ask to the interviewer, but it's not so important. I think it's more important to speak in to say the truth and to try to give the right impressions about you and about your career. And I think I really believe in true. I think if you say true, it's things become easier in an interview. Because when you pretend that you are someone that you are not really, that you are not, things become very weird and it make you very uncomfortable.
So would you say that if someone wanted to impress you, to make a good impression, that just being honest and genuine is probably the easiest way?
I think
Yeah.
all the times in your life and in an interview is the best way.
And can you think of an example and some of the things that the people did in the interview that were either really bad or really good, to tell people here about what they could do in interviews or not do?
Oh,
Maybe a crazy example of some guy who came in and just was a little too weird. Do you have any of those?
yeah, yes. I think these stupid answers about your weakness. This is something that really make me crazy. Like, oh, what your? I remember one time some guy told, "What's your weakness?" Oh, I am very perfectionism. Oh, I do all the things in very good ways. Oh, this is completely I didn't like this. I didn't like this guy. And I, as I said, I think yesterday I interviewed a guy and I asked about his rotation, that he went to a lot of jobs, and he told me, and I think he was honest. He told, I'm very unlucky. I think I'm very unlucky because all the time something happened and the company broke down, or the company was has a merger, and I think he was honest, because nobody would say I'm unlucky, do you know? Because, and he said that, and I decided to hire him. He will start next week, and
Nice.
because I liked him, and he was honest, and say, oh, I'm a very unlucky guy. Maybe it sounds crazy to hire an unlucky guy, but I decided to do because.
Hey, his luck has to turn around eventually, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
he's been unlucky. Well, someday he's got to be lucky, and now you have him around, so maybe you can be there for it.
Yes. So when someone say the truth, I usually give a chance.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay, so just to finish now, I'm going to ask you those 3 interview questions, and try to give me a good answer, something about you, a good answer that you would think.
Okay.
So the first, describe yourself. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I am 45 years guy. I am an engineer, and I start my own company 15 years ago. I describe myself as a workaholic, and I usually I used to be very anxious and made a lot of mistakes during my career. But when you get older, you learn from your mistakes, and nowadays I'm getting less anxious about work problems, and I think I'm doing better now than when I was younger. And I think when you get old, you get some kind of maturity that it's very good for your career.
Nice, that's good. Can you tilt your camera
Oh, sorry.
down a little bit? There, that's perfect. That's nice. The next is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, we develop a strategic plan for my company. So we are working hard to improve our sales. in order to sell the company 5 years from now. And we are looking forward to selling company to another company and earn some money. And I don't know what I you do, but I think about retirement maybe.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So I want to say that both of those answers were great because they were very focused. A lot of times when I practice with people with these questions, their answers are very meandering. They go all over the place. They're not focused at all. But both of your answers were very focused on one thing. You said that in the past you were anxious, but today I'm not anymore. And so my maturity is a strength. That's really great. And the second question you said, well, in 5 years, we're going to sell the company and I might retire. That's a very, very focused way to answer. And I think, and you can tell me what you think, but I think that being focused and clear is very important for interviews.
Yes, I agree. I agree. It's important to focus in one or 2 points. And what make people not so well in interviews that they feel anxious and they try to make good impressions and say a lot of things, but try to really focus on your strength and just one thing, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Don't try to think what is the best answer. Just be genuine and say truth. I think this is the best advice.
That's great. That's really great advice. And I think you can even stop on that. Just be genuine, just be yourself, relax, and everything will go much better for you.
Yes.
So thanks a lot, Fabio. And,
thank you, Ryan.
We'll see all of you guys later.
See you.
Okay.
So good morning, everyone. This is Rodrigo from Ryan and Rodrigo After Hours. And today I have one of my brightest students, okay, Bruna. Bruna, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. And Ryan and I have been talking, and we came to the conclusion that we should at least help, try to help some of our students with job interview questions and job interview material, because this is a difficult moment for everybody because of coronavirus. A lot of people had to change their work relations. A lot of people, unfortunately, are losing their jobs. But it's also time for new opportunities. So we must be prepared, right? I think this is the best thing we can do. Be prepared and hope for the best. But mostly be prepared, very prepared. Repeat and practice and be prepared, okay? As we all know, Ryan and I, we've been teaching. I've been teaching for about 15 years. Ryan's been teaching for a long time. And one of the most frequent issues for students has always been job interviews. Okay, so Bruna, before we begin our practice, before we begin our job interview simulation, I would like to ask you some questions. Okay, just so our viewers can get to know you a little.
Okay.
First of all, is what do you work with?
I work with, right now, I'm working with technology.
Okay, technology, information technology?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is your position in the company you're working for?
I'm a sustaining manager. We
Okay.
have to do a CRM maintenance for our customers.
Okay. CRM maintenance for your customers. Okay, so it's a
Yeah.
technology, information technology company. Okay, related to CRM. All right. And you are, sorry, assistant.
Sustaining manager.
Okay. Okay. Um, and when you got this job, and how long have you been working at this company?
Um, right now, I think it's 1 year.
1 year. All right.
Yeah.
And when you got this job, was English a prerequisite to get the position?
Not right prerequisite, but it's good to know. Not
Okay.
I don't have to be a fluent.
All right. And did you have an English interview or an interview in English when you before you started the job?
No, I
No.
not.
Okay. Uh, do you use English at work?
Yeah, almost every day, but oh, sometimes I have to read a lot, and sometimes I have to write for the support team.
Okay. So that would be my next question. How often you use English? So you use English almost every day.
Yeah,
And is it something? Uh, Is it something? Oh, I know it's frequent because it's every day, but it's in your work all the time, most of the time. Tell me a little about this. It's just
yeah.
sometimes you get emails.
No, almost every time. Not emails, but the documentation that we have to read, it's all in English. And if we translate it, this is not be uh, uh, right. We have
Okay,
to read in English.
okay. It's better to understand that
Yeah,
directly in English, right?
yeah.
Uh, and tell me something else. Um, how would you qualify the English of most people you know? Or most Brazilian people, most workers you know that need English? Do you consider uh, English to be a strong quality of people, a strong characteristic, or not so
Yeah,
much?
yeah, it's we have to know right, and nowadays we have to know to read or to listen English in English. It's right to know English. We have to. It's not that we have to choose. We have to
Okay,
know now.
okay. It's mandatory, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And do you think people have a good level of English? Most people you know?
No, no. In my
No, no, no.
company, they have a good level, but not the most people that I know.
Okay. All right. Now, so, and how have you ever been interviewed in English, or
No,
no? You never had an entire job interview in English,
no.
but you had tests, right?
Yeah, yeah. Test. I
Okay.
have.
It was like a formal test with reading and writing, something like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. And how did you do on the test?
I think I did a great job
Okay. Yeah,
in
I
that test.
remember. I remember when
Yeah,
you did it, and I remember you did a great job.
yeah,
And Bruna, just something, just a curiosity for our viewers is that you learned English by yourself, right?
yeah, yeah. By myself.
Okay, without the help.
I told. Yeah, I told you that I was a big fan of Backstreet Boys
Yes.
songs. Yeah, and
Yeah.
sing songs. And when I was 11 years old, 11, 10 years old, we have those. I don't remember how to say that, but we have the lyrics on the CDs,
Mm-hmm.
and I read that, and I moved to the dictionary and seek the word and do this translating by myself
Okay,
and
nice.
listen and try to repeat.
Very nice. This is one of the best ways to learn English. Not only that, of course, but for someone
Yeah,
that's young, that this is one of the best ways. Video games, music, movies, series, and nowadays everything is so massive. There's Netflix, Amazon Prime, and all these possibilities in front of everybody, right?
Yeah, but with with Spotify is better now that you can review the song and the lyrics right there in your screen.
Exactly. And also, what Spotify is very, very good and nice and much better because you can have access to our podcast. You can listen to me
Yeah.
and to Ryan and learn
Yeah,
even more English. And now to Bruna, right?
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and learn more English. Okay. Now, um, I will, we will do, I will start a job interview simulation with you. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because you said that you've been through tests. Okay, you've been tested in English,
Yeah.
and we have practiced job interview English
Sometimes.
job interviews in
Yeah.
our classes, but
Mhm.
you've never been through a real job interview in English.
Yeah.
But before we begin, how many, if you can remember, if you can have that information in your mind, how many job interviews have you had in your life? What do you think?
I don't know. I think over five, six. I don't know.
And were you approved in all of them?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, almost all of
so
them.
so that's great. It's not my case, but I'm older than you. I've been through more job interviews uh, than you, over 10. I guess I really don't remember. It's been a while since I don't get interviewed. But I've been I failed sometimes. I'm not a good interviewee. I wasn't. I'm a much when I started my career, I wasn't a good interviewer. I was shy and I didn't speak up, so it was a bit difficult for me. Uh, Ryan helped me very much on learning how to speak up and speak a little more eloquently. Um, as probably our viewers can see on the video, Ryan is more eloquent than I am. He speaks the way he speaks is a little more is a little clearer. I
Mhm.
tend to speak too quietly sometimes, but Ryan has helped me improve that a lot. Um, okay, now and this is I'm saying this because this is an important part of the interview. People usually don't think about that. We usually think about the contents of our answers, the words we are going to say, and we think about pleasing and saying satisfactory things to our interviewer. But we have to think about our posture, our
Yeah,
voice,
everything is communication flows, right?
exactly,
We have
body language.
to, yeah, we have to say some, don't have to say some words. We have to sit in the right way, and I think it's almost of first impressions that we have to deal with the interviewer.
Yeah, exactly. So can I start the can I start our simulation?
Yeah.
Okay. From now on, I will be your possible future boss. Okay.
Oh my
So
God, I'm afraid.
yes, not she's not afraid of me. She's just afraid of the situation. Okay. People are not usually afraid of me. Don't worry, guys. So uh, this is I I set aside here some typical interview questions. Okay, the most frequent ones and the ones that people have most difficulty with. Okay, find a lot of difficulty to answer correctly. And I don't want you to worry. This is your son having classes, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Okay. In times of Corona, this is very important, right? That he keeps studying. Uh, just a second, please. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think we can start.
Yeah.
So good morning, Bruna, right?
Yes.
Uh, Today, I would like to ask you some questions, okay? I would like to know some information about you so I can get to know you a little better and so I can check your English so I can see how you deal with customers and how you speak, how well you speak English, okay?
Okay.
Uh, can you tell me a little about yourself, Bruna?
Yes. I'm a type of person that I love to create, and I I like to be free, to feel free to create and to deal with my employees and my customers as I like to be motivated about that. But if I don't, if I'm not in this place to create, I sometimes I tend to be demotivated very fast.
Okay.
Just a second, please.
Sure.
He's about to start his English class.
Okay. That's important.
Yes. Pega seu livro, por favor. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so can I ask you the question? I will ask you the question again. All right.
Yeah.
Can you describe yourself? Can you tell me a little about yourself?
Yes. I was saying that I'm a type of person that I like to create, and I like to be to feel free to create. And if I'm not in this position, I tend to be demotivated, but I tend to create a scenario that I start a scenario that I can create more and be more persuasive with my employees and with my customers.
Okay, all right. And now something about a question about your future. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yes, professionally, I want to be on this in the same area as I am now, but I would like to start with another position or with skills in another position that that could be in data science area. And I want to continue work with people. And if it is possible, I like to be a leader too, as I am now.
Okay, something that just to add a comment. This is amazing. This is an amazing example we're having because uh, of your son having classes and you having an interview.
Yeah.
Because this is and this will be a reality from now on.
Yeah. Yeah.
This will happen many times for a
Yeah.
lot of people, right? At least for this year, but probably for the recent future, this will be a very big reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
But thank you. Now back to our interview. Can you please tell me three qualities, three strengths that you have, and one weakness in
Yeah.
yourself?
I'm a very organized person, and I'm really loyal to the company. Am I really honest too?
Okay, so
And
organized, loyal, and honest.
yeah, yeah. And my weakness is being too organized too, because sometimes I tend to be more bureaucratical, and sometimes we have to be more impulsive for some things, for some negotiations.
Okay,
And this is my weakness too.
okay, I understand. So being organized is very good because it helps you at work, right? It helps you in your job with everybody.
Yeah.
But it can be also something bad because you tend to get a little too organized and try to control things too much, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we have to be more impulsive, and we have to take some risks.
Okay. Now, I would like to just change the question a little bit. What is a quality that you have that people, your coworkers, your bosses, when they give you feedback, they always tell you, they always mention that quality. What is something that they always compliment in you?
I don't know if I don't know. I know my feedbacks teacher. I don't know if my feedbacks will have the same qualities in my feedbacks. Teacher. But almost every time they say that I'm resilient.
Resilience. Okay, that's nice. And what is one thing that they always, not always, but most of the times, they say you need to improve?
Um, Almost every time that I don't take so much risks.
Okay, all right. Um, now, I know that you're working at the moment at this technology company, and why do you want, and just so people be aware, this is just a simulation. So, but why do you want to leave your job, or why, when you changed, why did you want to leave your last job? What made you uh, want to change and leave your last job?
I like to be challenged with uh, my days. I don't know, but I don't like to do. I don't like to know what I'm doing every day. You know,
Okay,
I like to be challenged about that.
all right.
I like that feeling to be
Okay,
challenged.
you like a dynamic job, right? Um, you like a dynamic job, and you like changes and challenges. And the last
Yeah,
job didn't offer that to you at the moment.
yeah. I like that situation that I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm seeking this, and I seeking this situation that I know that I can improve, but I don't know how to do right now.
And then
And
you need to learn.
yeah,
Okay. Would you say that you like to always be learning?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, please describe your former boss, your ex-boss.
Yeah, but my former boss, I have two bosses, and my former boss, it, they make me feel free to create, and they and deal with my employees and my customers. But since I achieve their financials and strategical goals, and keep my team motivated to perform, I can create everything.
Okay.
And this is very nice of them.
They gave you uh, freedom is not the word. They gave you freedom and they gave you autonomy to create, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think this is the right word, autonomy.
okay, that's nice. That's very good. Well, thank you very much for your answers. I'm happy
Thank you.
to hear that you've been a very good interviewee. Okay.
Sorry
Now,
about this mess.
no, it's completely understandable. As I said before, this is a reality. We all have to deal with it. We have to get
Yeah,
used to that. Probably you've seen a lot of videos popping up on social media, Instagram,
yeah,
Facebook, and everything about Zoom meetings that have gone wrong or that have gone to a funny way. A guy having a meeting, and when he stood up, he was in his underwear, and
yeah, yeah.
so uh, this is something completely understandable and normal. Don't worry, and uh,
Okay.
your son has to study. Now,
Yeah.
I would like to thank you very much, okay, for taking some time of your day. I know you don't have a lot of time. You have two sons and you have your work, right? Now you're starting your work day. So thank you very much. But this will help a lot of students, all the people that are subscribed to our channel and that watch us every day in all of our videos, all of our viewers, okay, thousands of viewers. So this is amazing. This has been amazing, Bruna.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And just one last thing. What do you have to say to people that are now a little afraid or fearful of the future because of coronavirus and the economy crisis we have to deal with?
I think we have to now we have to pay attention of our lives. We have to see and those ways that that we didn't have the time. I talk with myself every day about that, and we have to be patient and don't be anxious about that, and and wait.
Okay, and be uh, have serenity and be
Yeah.
keep focused, right?
Yeah.
Keep
Mhm.
focused. Okay, thank you very much, Bruna. I think that's it for today, and I hope to have you on our show more times because uh, you're a nice person to have around. So thank you very much. I see you
Thank you.
next time. Okay,
Okay.
and bye bye.
Bye bye.